Hey y'all, it's Jordan from Jordan Budgets. Today we are going to be talking about time blocking. We are going to be talking about how I get everything done being a single mom who homeschools. I'm a full-time YouTuber. I'm a full-time Etsy shop owner. I have a lot going on over here, and a question that you guys give me a lot is, how are you fitting all of this in? Well, in this video, we are going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about these time blocks as if they happen every single day. I will tell you guys right off the bat though, this is not my everyday. The reality of living is just that things come up, events come up, sicknesses come up. This is not my everyday. This is also not a wish list. This isn't something like, oh, I wish I could get like this perfect schedule together. This is what we do a lot of the time. It's just not 100% of the time. So I want you guys to know that. The layout of this video is going to be talking about time blocks and schedules that I'm using. Towards the end of this video though, we will talk about some tips that I have for you if you're trying to implement a time block schedule into your own life. We're also going to mention at the end some things that I need to work on still. This is an evolving process. It seems like as I get my schedule down too, I add on more jobs. Like I just recently started Instagram and I recently started taking on sponsors. So that stuff takes time as well. So once I get myself really set up, I end up taking on more work. Is sort of where we're at right now. Though at this point, I feel like we are on a pretty good schedule. So I start out every morning at 4 a.m. and I work on YouTube and Etsy related tasks from 4 a.m. until 9 a.m. If you're doing the math on that, that's 5 hours every single morning. Even on the weekends, this is my schedule. So I have 5 hours every single morning that I get to work on YouTube and Etsy. That works out to be 35 hours of work that I get to get done with in the mornings if I'm doing this every single morning. Now this isn't my only work time block, but that one is very key for me. If I don't do that, I'm behind for the rest of the day. So we are going to talk about how I break up that time and what I'm doing each hour from 4 a.m. until 9 a.m. But before we do, I want to thank today's sponsor, FlexiSpot. You guys have seen me work with FlexiSpot in the past. They are actually the people who created the main desk that I have in my office. When they told me they are now offering adjustable bed bases and they offered to partner with me on this video, I jumped all over it. An adjustable bed base is a mattress foundation that can easily be adjusted to accommodate different sleep preferences. And if you are somebody like me and your time is extremely valuable and you need your full day to be productive, the way to get that is to get a better night's sleep. The Bed Base S5 from FlexiSpot is a top durable adjustment bed base. The motor has passed strict fatigue testing with more than 10,000 adjustments at a bigger load of 750 pounds. It means family members can all lie together at the same time. They have a 10-year warranty, a 30-day risk-free return service, door pickup service, and you can purchase it without any concerns. One other thing I want to mention about them is that they do have 4 different bed legging heights. It's suitable for people of all heights. It also means there's good under the bed storage, and that is important for people like me who are renting a smaller house and I need all of that under the bed storage. The boys and I have been absolutely loving our new bed, so I do want to say again, thank you so much to FlexiSpot for sponsoring today's video. They did also send this over the bed table. It is height adjustable. It's the H6, and I have been loving it because I've been using it in the living room. It does have low profile wheels, so it's easy just to slide under my sofa, and I love having this big height adjustable table in the living room. All of the links for FlexiSpot will be linked below in the description of this video. And if there's any current promotion and percentage off that I can hand over to you guys, that will be in the description as well. So after a good night's sleep, I wake up at 4 a.m. ready to start working. I love jumping right into work early in the morning. Waking up early is really motivating for me because I value my sleep time and I would rather be in that nice comfy bed. So if I wake up at 4 in the morning, I know I'm gonna jump straight into work related things. I'm not gonna wake up at 4 a.m. and be scrolling on my phone because I'd rather be sleeping. I'm not going to wake up and do a task that is less important to me. I do get water, I brush my teeth, I get a little bit like woken up for the day. It takes me 10 or 15 minutes, and then I jump straight into orders because I like to go ahead and do something really productive, but doesn't need me in front of the camera. Like, it's not a lot of talking. I get to feel very productive, and I am. It's productive to get orders out, but I don't have to be on my complete A game just yet. I don't have to be in front of the camera. I don't have to be creating anything new. And filling orders is one of the easiest tasks that I have. For a little while, I thought about sort of getting, hiring on and having somebody else help me fill orders, but I love doing orders for my first 2 hours in the morning. The other thing I love about this is while I'm filling orders, I will watch one of my favorite YouTubers. I have a lot of favorite YouTubers, but I try not to watch YouTube too much throughout the day, just if I'm in the office. So I get to wake up, I get to watch other YouTubers that I enjoy. A lot of times I had seen their thumbnail and seen that they had a new video the day before, but I save it for myself for 4 in the morning. It gets me out of bed. Y'all know I'm all about motivating myself, whatever it takes. So at 4 in the morning until 6, I get to watch YouTubers while I'm filling orders. In those 2 hours between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m., I can usually do about 10 to 15 orders from start to finish. Sometimes it is a little bit less orders, sometimes it's a little bit more. If you're not too familiar with my shop, a lot of my stuff is pre-made, actually right behind me, but I do have some custom listings as well, and then of course everything needs to be packaged together. So depending on just how much is custom needed, depending on if things need to be restocked, I can typically get about 10 to 15 orders done in about 2 hours. I used to just sit and do all of my orders during one full day, and I found that it would really just throw me off. I have to do things in little chunks. Otherwise, I will spend a full day doing orders, so I'll be good there. And then if I get sick or something happens, then I'll be way behind on videos. So I try to break up my day into different tasks. So those first 2 hours are usually the only hours that I spend packing orders and getting those shipped out. Between 6 and 7, I usually answer emails, catching up on YouTube messages, catching up on Instagram messages, getting back with potential sponsorships, that kind of thing. So I spend a full hour doing that. I try to get to all of the messages and all of the emails. Sometimes it doesn't happen. I really try to just give myself 1 hour. It forces me to move through things a bit more quickly. It forces me not to get too hung up on one email and just keep moving forward. Between 7 and 8 a.m., I typically step away from work a little bit. I will go clean the kitchen and get the boys breakfast ready. If it's a day that they're going to be out of the house, I'll go ahead and pack their lunch. I will start laundry. I will do very light cleaning. We usually save cleaning for over the weekends. We will talk about that, but there is a little bit of light cleaning that I will do in the kitchen. Maybe I'll sweep, maybe I'll start a load of laundry. I tend to do that between 7 and 8. I am oftentimes still in work mode, so I'm counting this in my work, like my working block, but I will be back and forth between the office while I'm sort of getting the boys set up for the day, and I'm working on a couple of tasks that need to be done around the house. Okay, here's where things get a little bit tricky. We're going to talk about days that I homeschool and days that I have them homeschooling out of the house. It feels weird saying that because those of you that don't homeschool, you may not know, but there are co-ops, there are drop-off programs and things you can get your kids in as a homeschool student. So my kids homeschool out of the house 3 days a week. On those days, I spend 8 until 9. That last hour in our work time block, I spend that hour dropping them off where they need to be, and then I'll go ahead and I'll run to the post office. I'll run by the bank because I am a cash budgeter, so I go by the bank often, and I'll run by the storage unit and pick up anything I need to put in the office. I do have a storage unit that has some like overflowing supplies. Sometimes I will be moving things out of the office into storage unit. Sometimes I need supplies from the storage unit. So if it's a day that I'm dropping them off out of the house and I'm already out anyway, I go ahead and take care of some of those errands that are run out of the house. If it is one of the 2 weekdays where they are homeschooling in the house, then I will spend from 8 a.m. until 9 a.m. working on Instagram posts. Now, it does not take me a full hour to put together an Instagram post, but because I'm so new to Instagram, I do a pretty good amount of research on Instagram still before I'm posting, because I want to know sort of what's popular. I'm still trying to look for ideas and inspiration of what I can talk about being a cash budgeter on Instagram. So if my kids aren't needing to be brought anywhere, if we don't need to leave the house just yet, I will be spending 8 until 9 on Instagram post research and creation for the week, because I am making posts over there a few times per week. So that is my very first time block, and it is probably my lengthiest time block to explain because I know a lot of you are juggling maybe full-time jobs and then you are working on like your passion job or YouTube or Etsy. Maybe you are a homeschooler. So I will say that 4 a.m. until 9 a.m. time block is invaluable to me. So let's move forward and talk about our other time blocks, which probably will take a little less time to explain. As I just mentioned, I do have my boys out of the house 3 times per week. In a general sense, because the days are all a little bit different, which is just the nature of homeschooling and running your own business. Like typically your days don't look the same like every single day. Well, I would say as a general rule, they are out of the house 3 times a week from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m., sometimes a little bit later. So if it is a weekday, and if it is one of those 3 days that the kids are out of the house, I will spend 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. either filming, prepping to film, or editing for YouTube and Instagram. So 3 days out of the week, I have 5 hours to focus just on filming, editing, researching another video, maybe buying some supplies, or prepping what I might need to film. So I would call my morning time block more an Etsy and communications time block, as it has to do with work. And then during the day time hours, I have 15 hours throughout the week to really focus on filming, editing, and prepping to film or edit, like the more YouTube side of things. So if you're keeping tally, like I do work more than 40 hours per week doing what I do, and that's not even touching the homeschool side of things yet. And if it is one of the 2 days per week that I am homeschooling, I will spend 9 until 2 homeschooling with the boys. That does not mean that I am in books with them and homeschooling and like, you know, doing teachery related things for those 5 hours straight twice a week. I do really prioritize our social lives. I prioritize friend building. A lot of our homeschool hours that I'm spending with them are spent in playgroups and meeting up with friends and just nurturing some of our homeschool community and homeschool relationships. That's not to say I don't homeschool with them. I just want to make it very clear that they are not doing book work for me for 10 hours. That is not to say that I'm not doing homeschooling with them. I just want to make it clear that we prioritize the 10 hours that I have with them. We are prioritizing a lot of trips and a lot of fun and hands-on learning and adventuring more than we do book work. My boys are only kindergarten and 2nd grade. Out of those 10 hours, we probably spend 2 hours total really focusing on spelling, reading, and ELA related things, and a little bit of math review. On the homeschool days that they're out of the house and away from me, they really focus on math, science, engineering, and coding, those like mathy brain things. So that is a very rough overview of our homeschool schedules. I will be having a video either right before this it came out or right after this talking all about our homeschooling current curriculum, talking about our homeschool schedules and how we make all that work, and breaking down our homeschool curriculum and schedule a little bit more. So that video is coming out very soon. We won't be talking about that too much in this video. So quick overview, from 4 until 9, typically my working block. From 9 until 2, I'm either doing video work or I'm homeschooling. And then from 2 until 5 is more when I'm hanging out with the kids. We are either sitting outside together, we are going to the beach together. It's more family time, less focused on friends, but I try to just focus a little bit more on them. And then the last time block is 5 until 8 p.m. This is the time block that I will say, your girl is tired. So from 5 until 8, basically I cook at the beginning of that time block. I feed the kids. They watch their tablets because like we've been together all day, or I've been working since 4 a.m. They watch their tablets and unwind from their day. About 5:30, I turn on the TV and I eat and I unwind from my day. But work is not done for me. Usually at this point, when the TV is on after I've eaten, I am sort of doing a little bit of homeschool prep, going through some materials so I'm ready for the next time I'm homeschooling my boys. Or maybe this is the time that I will do some mom tasks. I might be setting appointments. I might be online trying to kind of get our schedule together for next week. This is just, I'm sort of done for the day, but like I try to squeeze in a little bit of things that have fallen through the cracks, or some things I just need to get to between this final time block, which is 5 until 8. I just want to mention, though, that this is my time block, that I'm exhausted and it's a little bit more of a free-for-all around here, and I just wanted to be real with you guys and say that I'm human, and by that point we are all just surviving. So I would say it is my like downtime, but at this stage in life you won't catch me just like mindlessly watching TV for hours. You will not find me just like with a good book, which I would love, but like it's very much a busy season of life. And I want to mention that because sometimes if you are trying to follow your dreams, you will have to give up, say, your TV time. I love a good TV series, but I have found that I can't start a series or I will get sucked into it and I will lose all of my productivity. I will lose all of my momentum if I let myself just watch, you know, 5 seasons of something. So I do give myself a little bit of TV time later at night, but it's usually while I'm working on other things, and I won't let myself get too sucked up in a TV show for too long. Okay, before we talk about changes I want to make and some tips for you guys, I do want to mention Saturday has been a soccer day for us. Soccer season is now over, so I'm hoping to get that day back and have some fun family time with the boys, but also sometimes be able to catch up on work on some Saturday hours. So that is where our Saturdays have been. I guess we will see what happens with our Saturdays these next couple of months. Sundays have become a clean the house with the boys. I've got to say, y'all, 6 and 8 years old have been, it's been a great season. They are now a little bit older, and on Sundays, we clean the whole house together. So I did mention to you guys in the morning, I like to do the dishes, I'll sweep, I'll do like an hour max of cooking, cleaning, like getting some things together. We save all of our cleaning if we're talking about like cleaning bathrooms and doing laundry and stuff. We do all of that together on Sunday, and because the boys are now so helpful, we're able to usually knock everything out cleaning wise in the house in an hour, 2 hours, depending on how like far we've let the house go. But we do let our house go. Like we just let it do what it's gonna do. I am not somebody who's keeping it tidy all throughout the week and spending a couple hours here and there on the house. Just not something we do. We clean it together on Sunday. The boys are very helpful, and it has been a godsend to our schedule. So that is kind of what weekends have been looking like. Now, changes I would love to make. I would love to start getting ahead on filming, and I'm currently trying to do that. I would love to be a week or even 2 weeks ahead on filming. At this point, during that filming time block 3 days a week, I've been filming, editing, uploading, basically doing everything in one day, and that is a little bit maddening because cameras have issues, schedules have issues, something pops up, somebody's sick, and it's stressful because I feel like filming is the thing that I love the most, but it becomes the most stressful because little things come up and throw that schedule off like the most easily. So I guess I'm not really trying to change our schedule as far as the time blocking goes, but I do want to start being able, maybe on Saturdays now that we're done with soccer, I think I'm gonna try to start filming ahead some, just so we can get ahead a little bit. So if things pop up, if sicknesses happen, then we are ready. And on that same train of thought, I think once I can get just a little bit ahead on filming, then I would be able to hire an editor. I think that's the first job I'm really going to pass the baton on and get somebody else to edit. I did have somebody helping me edit there for a little while. I really loved his help. I was filming the day of, and then I needed it edited right then, so I've been doing it myself. I would love to be ahead on filming so that one, I will be ahead when things pop up, but also if I'm ahead, then I can pass it on to an editor and there will be time to have them edit it before it needs to go up. So that is the next big change I will be making to my schedule, just to free up some of that filming and editing time block. So if you remember, I give myself 5 hours 3 times a week. That's 15 hours that I'm spending prepping, filming, and then editing. If I get back, say 6 hours per week because I'm no longer editing, that would free me up to work on new products. It would free me up to create some different things, because you've probably seen in this schedule, I don't really have a good creative time block where I'm getting to create new products. Creating new products, creating new things, working on the new planner line, that is stuff that I really, really love. It's not currently in my schedule, which means it's getting squeezed in on Saturdays and Sundays and just when I have time. So it would be nice if my filming and editing time block turned into filming and creating new products, and I just pass on the editing. Okay. I think I've said that enough ways at this point. The other thing I would love to start doing is to stop working completely on Sundays. I would love to stop working on Sunday though, so that I can use that energy towards bulk cooking so that I'm ready throughout the week. Our meal prep has just been a mess, and I feel like that would be a major improvement in our life if I could start bulk cooking on Sunday. The way our schedule has been though, I mean, I'm waking up at from 4 until 9 working, and then I'm just tired. So I don't know, I'm rambly at this point, but I'm really just trying to say bulk cooking has been falling off of my list. I just have not been very like homemakery lately, and I would love to get back to cooking more at home, save the money, stop eating out. But in order to do that, I think I just need to stop working on Sunday. Day needs to just be for cooking and cleaning the house and getting ready for the next week. Maybe even some planning. I used to do a lot of paper planning. It was a lot of fun. I have not had time to sit down and play with planners in a while. So I would love Sunday to become that day for me. That is something I'm working on. Okay, let's talk about tips. If you are trying to break up your day, if you have a lot of jobs like me, I have just a couple of quick tips that I want to mention to you. Tip number 1 is to learn your own needs. I have learned just in the process of doing this, for example, that if I have a very social day in my homeschool group, for example, it is not a day that I'm going to be very good at filming. I don't know why that is. I guess because I'm using a lot of my social energy on my friends in my homeschool group, and then by the time it comes to sit down and film, I'm just not coming across with the same energy. So that is just an example, but you need to learn your own things that work for you and learn yourself. Another thing is, if I want to have a very productive morning, say 4 a.m. until 9 a.m. schedule, I can't work at night. For the longest time, I would want a really productive morning, and then once the kids were in bed, I wanted to get another hour or 2 in. That very quickly turns into none of the time being productive. I am just exhausted. I'm kind of over it. I don't want to wake up and work if I went to sleep right after working. So learn things that work for you. Try to keep note of what's working, what's not working. The other thing is to be flexible. I went through so many schedules. I've gone through so many time blocks. I feel like my current schedule is really working for me. It took me a long time to figure out what that schedule was. And I will say, just because this schedule is currently working for me, that does not mean this is my forever schedule. I will continue to be flexible, and I encourage you to be flexible, especially as you are figuring out what kind of schedules work for you. Last tip, and then we're going to close out this, I think, very lengthy video, and that is to not compare yourself or your situation with anybody else's. Like I just said, it has taken me a long time to really figure out my current schedule and make it work for me. So don't jump into this and try to recreate my schedule, or if you do want to create a similar schedule, don't beat yourself up if it doesn't work right away. And for me, sometimes I start comparing my own schedule and productivity with somebody else, and that somebody else may not have kids, they may not be homeschooling, and I can't beat myself up for not being able to keep up with their work schedule when they are not wearing a bunch of other hats. Or same for like the homeschool community. There are some homeschool moms who are killing it with all of the projects, they're doing all the things, which is amazing, but I can't expect myself to fit in the same exact things, the same curriculum, the same lifestyle. We are all living our own life, so try to find inspiration where you can. Try to create an ideal schedule for you, but try not to try to keep your blinders on with what everybody else is doing, and try not to get jealous of other people and what they are able to accomplish, because you don't know what kind of support they have. You don't know what their entire day looks like even. So try to focus on yourself, try to focus on your own schedule and improving your own life, and don't get too caught up on a comparison game and what you think you should be able to do because somebody else is doing it. Alright guys, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm trying to do a lot more content on this channel and get away from only cash stuffings. This is still primarily a budgeting channel, but I think we are just going to try to branch out into a little bit more lifestyle and some other budgeting related content. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are enjoying my channel, please go ahead and subscribe. We would love to have you as a part of our little fam here. As always, I love you guys, I appreciate you, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.